Let's talk about conditional formatting in Google Sheets. It is a fantastic way to quickly analyze data and get some immediate feedback. And so I'm going to show you how you can do this really quick and use this really cool tool. So conditional formatting, basically what that means is that we're going to tell this sheet to look at a specific range of data and do something with it based on the rules that we create. So we have to figure out what data we want it to look at and then what we want it to do with that data. Typically, we're just going to ask it to change the color of the cell if there's specific data inside of it. So let me show you where it is and then I'll show you how to use it. So to get to conditional formatting, you're just going to come up here to the format option, and it's right here called conditional formatting. And when you open it, you'll see over here you get this menu, and we'll work through that in just a second. So let's get started. This is information that I've actually gathered from a form, and you can see right here I have a question called what is 2 plus 2? So I want to see who got it right really quick. So I'm going to conditionally format this column. So what I'm going to do is first, before I even open conditionally formatting, I'm going to click on this column, and you'll notice that it's highlighting the whole column. So I clicked up here where it says B, because I want this conditional formatting rule to be set to all the rows within this column, not just a specific group of them. If I only wanted the conditional formatting for rows 2 through 6, I would just highlight that. You can change this once you get into the conditional formatting menu, but I find it's easier to do it before you get in there. So I'm going to click on B. Now I'm going to come up here to Format, Conditional Formatting, and you'll see that it's going to default to this rule. And you'll see right here, here's my range. So it's B to B. That means it's doing the whole column B. I can change that by just clicking over here, and it's going to ask me. So if I wanted it from B2 to B235, I could just come in here and say B2 to B235, and it will shift the range. I can add another range. So if this is a rule that I'm setting and I want it to be set for B and column D, I can sit here and I can add another range to my heart's content. So you can manipulate your range inside the conditional formatting menu as well. So we'll change it. You can see that's reflected right here. Then so we've told it what data we want. Now we're going to tell it what to do. So we're going to say it's going to default to cell is not empty. So, but if I click on this, I have lots of different things. So in my example, I want to know the kids that got this correct. I could also do the kids that got it wrong. So if I want to know who got it correct, I'm going to say text is exactly. So I'm going to hit text is exactly. Now, let me warn you about this. If you hit text contains, if I say text contains 4, the number, and I put in the number 4, if somebody puts in the answer 24, the rule's going to hold. As opposed to if I put text is exactly and I put the number 4 in, that rule will only hold to cells that have just the number 4 in it. So you have to figure out your wording before you actually set the rule. So I'm going to say text is exactly, and then I'm going to put in here 4. And then down here I'm going to say what I want it to do with that. So this is what I want you to look for. This is what I want you to look for within this range. And once you find it, I want you to turn that green. We'll leave it green. And I can even change it to this color green. All right. And you can see it's happening over here to the side. And then I can hit done. So you can see that it's conditionally formatted that row. So I can look really quick and see these kiddos got that one right. Now, if I wanted to add a new rule, all I do is come over here and I click on this. I can set a range. So maybe I want my range to be row C or column C. So I'm going to say C to C. I'm going to hit OK. And this question up here is what is 0 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? So I'm going to say if the text is exactly 0, I want you to turn it this color green. Okay? Or I can change it this way. I can say does not contain 0 and then turn those red. So you can see I can change the custom formatting however I want. And when I'm done with that rule, I can just hit done. So now you can see that this sheet has a couple rules on there. And you can just keep going back and forth and set whatever rules you want to have on your sheet. But conditional formatting is something that I really recommend you get in there and sort of play around with, because it can really help you look at your data in a really quick way.